Here, this is my favorite cut. You see the rotten barbed wire in the front? And we all know now that this is an encased nuclear power plant. What this barbed wire indicates is that at first the area beyond the wire was deemed dangerous, but eventually people found out the hazardous area was a lot wider. So the residents who lived near the wired area also evacuated, so no one lives here anymore. That's why the wire is rotten. When the accident occurred, the neighborhood around the power plant was blocked. But that was not enough as the contamination continued. So they had to abandon the entire region, not just inside the wire. So everyone had to evacuate within a radius of several kilometers. The wire became meaningless since now no one lives here. So it's rotten. There's a scene that suggests the aftermath. Chaga and Asuka drink in a melancholic mood. It says here, synthetic salted mackerel and vinegared bio octopus, real dried sardine and grilled chicken. It means there are only humans in this world, or... So, the synthetic mackerels and bio-octopuses are both fabricated. There's something called selective propagation of Chernobyl. If you go there now, you see so much nature, but that doesn't mean all the nature can survive radioactivity. There are those plants that can grow well and those who die. Only selected species can propagate. One bird species could nest on a power plant at Chernobyl, but most showed physical abnormalities. That's what selective propagation does to living beings. So, most species, except for humans, have died out. That's what this menu suggests. It says in here, life is not guaranteed. And this one here, it says sunlight. It's warning that there will be sunlight and it'll be dangerous. Isn't that strange? How can sunlight be dangerous? What this means is that the ozone layer has been completely destroyed. And because of that, even sunlight can be hazardous. It can cause skin cancer as ultraviolet rays directly hit the skin. That's how bad things are. No barbed wire is necessary in the outside world since the atmosphere is entirely filled with radioactivity. The ozone layer is destroyed, so just by going outside and exposing yourself to the sunlight, you can get skin cancer. It's a hopeless situation. When I found this, I was astonished. They're still underground. But when the truck comes out of the building, this is what's on the road, the radiation warning symbol. What this means is that the city underground isn't safe either. Only the innermost part of the building is safe. Just by being outside of buildings in that underground city, you're exposed to radiation. Humans have escaped into the dome, but that didn't secure their lives. Radioactivity has started to leak into the dome as well. So, habitable areas for humans are rapidly decreasing. Here's the evidence. Where was it? My bad. It's number 63, so... Here, take a look. In the scene, the truck flies in the air. These roads here, unlike the road that the truck has taken off from, these roads have been abandoned. The cars are left on the roads, and the roads are covered by something that looks like moss. They are no longer in use. This scene mainly shows how the truck could fly in the air. But if you look at the highways in the background, if you look carefully, you find abandoned cars lined up endlessly. And they're covered by moss. This is the proof that this city is not safe. Death is drawing near the entire dome city. And wait, let's go back. This image here, this residential building, the truck ascends and crashes into the building. This is one of the highest parts of the dome. And you see all the windows broken. At a glance, they look like trees, but they seem more like moss. It means that the higher the floor, the more broken windows you see, and radioactivity leaks in through these windows. But people still live there. The higher you go, the closer you get to the ground, which is more dangerous. So the rich hide inside the buildings deeper underground, and the poor and unemployed have to live closer to the ground level, where the windows are all broken and nothing can stop the radioactivity leaking inside. But those people have to survive as well, raise their children, and do whatever they can to extend their short lifespan. So these details of the ghetto area where the truck crashes into and abandoned roads show how people live inside the dome under the threat of radioactivity. This is an incredible anime made by Miyazaki. I think On Your Mark has condensed all the important elements of Nausicaa. Nausicaa uses a metaphor of the toxic jungle, which produces spores. People can no longer live in that area, so the Tolmekians and Pejitians escape the spores and shelter themselves. However, the people of the Valley of the Wind decide to live with the toxic jungle. Nausicaa is a great metaphor of nuclear energy, but as soon as he finished the manga version of Nausicaa, he was strongly motivated to express like, boom, this is what Nausicaa was really about. That's really amazing. Okay, now. Number 67. Oh yeah. Here. I showed you the strange buildings in the back earlier. The image source of these strange buildings, as you might have guessed already, are the cooling towers of a nuclear power plant in 3 Mile Island, where one of the worst nuclear power plant accidents occurred. These towers are used to release the heat into the atmosphere. Now, these are American designs. You see 2 types of reactors in the anime, American and Soviet. Now, back to this image. They just came from the underground city. That's where the towers are. The Soviet reactor exploded and people could no longer live on the earth. Then, what about the city they came from? Their city is also contaminated by radioactivity. Now they're receiving energy from American nuclear power plants. After surviving the accident, they still have to depend on nuclear power. These towers insinuate that fact. It's so hopeless.